Hello everyone, welcome back. I know it's been a little while. Unfortunately, my fancy phone that I was using to record everything died. So there's a ton of footage and a lot of work that I had done, like all the painting of the bed liner that's gone, and so I can either fix my camera phone, or get a new battery. So unfortunately, that's where I'm at right now. But right here, real quick, that was a huge dent in the door because someone had, I guess, jimmy the door open way before I owned this car. And so I had to fix that, and I did it using very simple tools, which was just that little tiny vice grip right there. And I was able to get that all leveled and flattened out. And then I went back in with a hammer and dolly. I wasn't able to get that completely flattened and straightened out, so I had to come back in with some body filler and level it all out and make it look, nice and pretty. That took a little bit longer than I thought it would because it was a pain in the butt trying to get into that very small area, but I was able to make it work, and it came out looking like phenomenal. It looked really, really good, especially once I laid a few coats of primer on there after I finished this body fill. It looked real good. But that's just like a tips and tricks for anyone, to let you know you don't need fancy tools all the time to get things done. Sometimes just a screwdriver or even like a pair of little vice grips can work just fine. So always try to think outside the box. Don't hinder yourself just because you don't have the correct special quote unquote tools, because I'm cheap as fuck. And if I can make something work without buying special tools, I'll make it work without buying special tools. And that's just a flashback to how it used to look and now how it looks now, or a couple of months ago how it looks. And yeah, I'm just so happy I finally got that done. Unfortunately, when I had went and sprayed the car or shot the primer on the car, it was wicked hot out and very, very humid, like a very dry heat. So it was a race against the clock to get everything down before it completely dried. But all in all, it came out really good. I was happy. Only a few spots I had to go over, to get rid of where some bugs or what have you, dust fell on there. Sand those out, but it wasn't that bad. And there was two little dents right there too in the door that I forgot and had to go back over and level that out. So I finally, after like, how long have I owned this car for? 13 years? Yeah, whatever. I'm going to say 13 years. 12, 13 years. Finally have two doors that don't have a bunch of dents in them. That's like one of the best feelings. Finally got around to doing it. And cool story, when I bought this car, I bought it for $500. The whole entire motor was in the front seat, and I had to like push it onto a trailer. Me and an old co-worker. Yeah, I pushed onto trailers. Me and him. Shows you that I'm pretty strong. And I brought it back home. My grandmother rolled her eyes and she was like, really? She was like, another one? She was like, you need to stop buying these cars. They're in pieces. But then afterwards, when it ran, then she loved it. Like, once all the hard work's done, they like it. But it's like, when you first get it, they want you to get rid of it because, I don't know. Women are weird. And I'm saying that as a female. They don't like to put in the hard work, but they'll sit there and boast and brag and take responsibility for something after all the hard work is done. So any women watching this video, stop doing that. Or if you know someone that does that, call them out on it and tell them to stop doing it, because it makes us look really, really bad. Okay, anyway, me blabbing on about that. Yeah, look at that bed liner. I think it looks awesome. I really, really like the way the bed liner is coming out. I ran out of it. Oh, another tip and trick for anyone that's using bed liner for painting their car. It does not lay down like paint. If you try to shoot it like you shoot paint, you will end up wasting a ton of it. just go super light and like really short spurts. If that makes sense, it's like really like short spurts. And then when you go back for your second coat, just go really light over that. Again, like really short spurts. Because if you try to just like hold down the trigger like as if you're painting regular spray paint or using an air gun, an air spray gun, you will run through that stuff like water. I wish I knew that beforehand because that stuff is not cheap. So unfortunately, I went through, I think, was it six or eight bottles of that stuff. And I was only able to finish 2 doors, the front bumper, the side skirts, and I think that's it. Yeah, I didn't get that much done at all. And I was pissed. So I have to wait till I get some more extra funds to buy some more of the bed liner. And this time I've actually heard, for anyone out there that's going with Raptor bed liner, I read and found out that custom coat bed liner is the same exact product. It's just rebottled, and it's like, I don't want to say half the price, but it's like 25% cheaper than using Raptor bed liner. Just a heads up for that. And let's see, yeah, also with these wheel wells, holy shit. Almost 30 years worth of baked on dirt and grime was in there. And it legit took me, I want to say like a week to a week and a half of being hunched over and scrubbing these wheel wells. I was only able to do like 4 hours at a time because it was killing my back, but I was able to finally get it done. I tried degreaser at first. Yeah, see how, night and day difference. It took forever to get that done. But instead of using the degreaser, that really wasn't it was kind of I tried oven cleaner, had way better results for that as well. And then I ended up going back to another more concentrated version of degreaser to scrape it off, and then use like a drill with a scrubber attached to it. Kind of worked alright, but long story short, you got to put in elbow grease. All the degreasers pretty much ended up working the same. The only better product was the oven cleaner, but I don't know if you should use that if you're not like repainting your car. I'm not sure how damaging that can be to your paint. So I would recommend it if you're doing like if you're getting ready to sand on your car and paint it. Yeah, why not? Just use it. But if you're not getting ready to like sand down or repaint your car, I'm not sure if I would recommend using it. But it is a good product. It was way better than the degreaser for getting that baked off dirt off of my wheel wells. But yeah, that was a mission and a half. Where are we at now? I ended up taking out the stuff on the front end that was shown a little bit earlier because I just said to hell with it. If I'm gonna paint this thing, just paint as much of it as I possibly can. And so the next time, whatever. Oh, right there. I ended up going over all the rust spots with that rust jelly that soaked. Took that off. And then I came back to the rust spots with some rust converter. And I did that, of course, after I knocked off all the loose rust or anything or any scale, and wire brushed it down and everything. And then I'm going to seal it all with, I think I'm using an acid etch epoxy. I forgot. It's the Raptor anti-corrosive acid H whatever blah 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 epoxy, primer, which is really good. I really like that stuff so far, so I'll probably use it on some other projects too. But I do plan on eventually painting the inside of the car and the underneath of the car. I want to completely just degrease it, get everything off, and then just repaint the whole bottom end. And when I do that, I'll probably drop the subframe front and back and replace it with a upgraded one that either I'm gonna make or maybe I'll just buy one. I don't know. I'll see how things turn out. Since I'm painting in the garage with the door open, you'll see later on after I use a tack cloth, which I'm using right here, to clean off all the dust and dirt. And then I went back over it with some rags, the red rags that don't leave a lot of lint, and some acetone to get all of the dirt off. And then I also took some water that I had just a little bit of like soap in there, and I sprayed it all over the floor, all over the garage floor, just to help eliminate any type of dust and dirt from splattering or coming back up. See right there? Yes, I'm doing right there. Help splattering from coming back up onto the car when I'm shooting the primer and the paint. And it worked out really, really well as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Primer's laid down. I still have to do the rear hatch because I just got my cousin to help me take off the rear hatch. And there's a couple of little rust spots where I'm just gonna make a new piece of metal and just weld it in the back there. You'll see in one of the pictures coming up, and take care of that. And then I'm gonna shoot the roof with the lace paint job as well. And I think it's gonna look really hot. I can't wait to get that done. But unfortunately, I do not have a fancy phone still, so I'm gonna figure it out for you guys and find something to make it work. But thanks for tuning in and stay tuned. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.